Welcome to the lesson on sway and non-sway columns from ACI 318M25. We will build intuition about the P minus delta and P minus delta effects, and then connect them to gravity and wind load interactions on a building frame. We begin with the non-sway column, also called a braced column, under ACI 318M25. Bracing is like a sturdy rail that keeps the top of the column above the bottom, so the frame does not lean. Any P minus delta effect in this setup stays very small, and the code limits the increase in moment to under 5%. Now consider a sway column, which arises when the frame is unbraced. The top of the column moves sideways, and that drift delta creates a much larger P minus delta effect. The extra moment is P times delta, so we multiply our nominal moments by the magnification factor delta sub S to account for that lean. Engineers use the stability index Q to decide whether a frame is sway or non-sway. Q is the sum of P sub U times the drift delta sub O divided by the lateral force V sub U times the column height L sub C. The code says that if Q is less than or equal to 0.05, we treat the column as non-sway, but if Q is larger, we must use the sway procedures. Let's bring gravity and wind loads into the picture. Gravity loads are the dead load plus live load, giving us P total equals 1.2D plus 1.6L, and that axial load can create a primary moment P times E if it is eccentric. Wind loads act horizontally with F sub W equal to Q sub Z times the gust factor times the pressure coefficient times the face area. When wind pushes the building, the top drifts by delta, and gravity now acts off-center, creating the P minus delta moment. So the design moment sums the wind moment plus P times delta. A quick summary table shows gravity pushing down, creating axial compression, wind pushing sideways, creating bending and shear. And when both occur, we get the P minus delta effect that increases bending and buckling risk. In closing, remember that gravity loads supply the crushing axial force, wind feeds the sideways drift. And the code uses the P minus delta and delta sub S multipliers to keep sway columns safe. Sway columns safe.